I saw a quote the other day that it was about being too old to work out. Someone was saying, I'm too old. I'm just too old. And the quote actually was, I'd rather be the oldest person in the gym than the youngest person in a nursing home. And wow, did that start me to thinking. Think about that. Would you rather be the oldest person in the gym than the youngest person in a nursing home? I know I would be. And this video is not about being too old to go to a gym or being the youngest person in the nursing home. It's not about that, but it's about encouraging you and me to stop thinking about being old. And I guess I would ask you this question. Have you ever stopped yourself from doing something or wearing something or trying something new because you thought, I'm too old for that, or am I too old for that? I promise you, if you've had those thoughts before, if those thoughts have kept you from acting on something you wanted to do, you're not alone. And what I think I want to do today in this video is challenge that thinking. And as we go into this new year, 2025, let's do this together. Let's get this idea that we're too old out of our minds, out of our thought process. I guess, first of all, who even decides what being too old even means? Is it society? Probably. The younger generation? Probably. Our inner critic? Probably. But let's be real about this. The only person holding us back from doing what we want to do is us. I've been saying this for so long here on my channel. There are no makeup police. There are no fashion police. There are no hair police. We can do what we want to do. We can look the way we want to look. We can be who we want to be. And the truth is that age is just a number. And it's never too late to live our best lives. Never. Whether that means trying something so totally new, going after a dream, or simply shaking up our beauty routine, or starting something new with our beauty routine. I read so many comments from you, and again, I think this is because I am older, and many of you are older, and for whatever reason, you've made the decision in the past not to really pay a whole lot of attention to your appearance. Because we do know that it's really not about our appearance. It's about what's in here. But I know when I look better, I feel better, I do better. I know that. And that's why I've always said that I'll always wear makeup. I'll always put forth as much effort as I can. Think about this. Did you know that Vera Wang did not even design her first dress until she was 40? Vera Wang. Colonel Sanders founded Kentucky Fried Chicken in his 60s. And Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first Little House book until she was 65. Actually, these are just a few people who refuse to let age defend their possibilities. So why should we? I started my YouTube channel when I was 68. And many of you have heard the story. You know that I was on YouTube and one of what I called my beauty girls now popped up, and she was doing eyeshadow, and she was young. And my first thought was, yeah, but that's going to work on someone young. Let me find a video of a 68-year-old showing us how to apply eye makeup. Well, guess what? There were none. I spent hours and hours and hours searching on YouTube for older women doing makeup, not having makeup applied to them as much as them actually teaching me how maybe to do my eyeshadow differently. I couldn't find them. They weren't there. I could find older women making smoothies and teaching us more about lifestyle, how to be a vegan, but there was no one 13, almost 14 years ago who was showing me, or any of the older women who were viewers, how to do things. And I thought, I can do this. I can do it. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I knew nothing. I knew nothing about how to film a video, how to do anything. And again, you've heard me say, I had a little Sony camcorder that I had bought from either QVC or Home Shopping a couple of years before, because I had retired and I thought, I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to take some videos. I'm going to learn this. Well, guess what? It was still in the box and opened. I got it. I had to figure out how to charge the battery because it was dead. And I had to figure how to put the little SD card in it. And then I started playing around with it, just filming and having fun. And I was filming everything. And then one day I got up the nerve to sit down and prop that little camera up on some books in front of me on an end table or a TV tray, I think it was. And I filmed my first video. And that little Sony camcorder, it was a Canon camcorder. Excuse me, it was a Canon camcorder. But that little first video, I could watch back. I had figured out how to watch my film back on the camera itself to see what I had filmed. And so I filmed it, but then I didn't know what to do with it. I took that little SD card out of the camera, and I had my old dilapidated laptop that Jennifer had given me because it was one that she had literally worn out and finally replaced. It was slow, it was horrible, but I looked at this card and I looked at that computer, and I didn't know how to get all of that information off of that little card into that old computer. And guess what? I started watching YouTube videos and I figured it out. Got that information off that card into that little old dilapidated computer laptop, into whatever word processing, video making, I don't know what it was, program in Windows that was already on the computer. And when I played it back on that bigger screen, I'm going, oh no, oh no, I can't put this up. I had made too many mistakes, and I'd said and so and I had, oh listen, it was bad. So I thought, I can't put this up. And I went back and I refilmed, and I would watch it, and I would refilm it, and I would watch it, and I would refilm it, and I would watch it, because back then we really weren't editing. That editing came later for those of us who have been on YouTube for so long. Editing sort of came later, especially in this beauty community. But after several tries, I finally filmed a video without so many mistakes that I was okay with uploading it. And many of you have seen it. But from that point, all of my knowledge, everything I learned about YouTube and filming, making videos, editing, everything I learned from watching other YouTube videos. I found out that there's not much you can't learn on YouTube, not much. And there are a lot of people teaching the very same thing. I learned how to watch a few videos, maybe watch the first five minutes or so of a video and determine whether or not I even wanted to finish watching that video, because I wanted to click with that person whose video it was. I felt like if I clicked with them, if I understood them, they were talking my language and they were making things easy for me to understand. So 13, almost 14 years ago, I started this channel at 68 years old, and I've never looked back. It has literally changed my life. So I think why, and by the way, I have had so many of you over the years send me messages or write in the comment, I'm thinking about starting my own YouTube channel. What do you think? Do you think I should? Is it hard? And I think if you've been one of those people, you know that I have been very encouraging. I am so excited for any of you who want to try this. When I started all those years ago, I had no idea I'd still be doing it. Absolutely the oldest person in this beauty genre on YouTube when I started, and for a long time. I'm no longer the oldest. And that is so neat. Not that there are people older than me, but there are women especially who are taking that chance. They're conquering the fear. They're doing it, and they're older than I am. Or for sure, they when they started, they were older than I was when I started. And I think that fear is what holds us back from a lot of things as we age. Just like when we're younger, it's the fear of failure. It's the fear of judgment. It's the fear of not being good enough. If I could say one thing to you, especially if you want to start a YouTube channel, is don't tell anybody. I did tell Jim and I told my daughter what I was doing, but I didn't tell anybody else. I didn't tell anybody for a long time. And I rarely tell people that anymore when I meet them. That's not one of the first things they hear about me. They may never hear it about me. But every single person who has ever done anything started as a beginner. It was the first time they had done anything. But I think whether we're a wait person, whether we're a secretary, a file clerk, does that take you back? Whether we're fresh out of college and we've never worked before, whether we get a part-time job at a retail store, it doesn't matter. We always have a very first experience. It's the first time we've done it. So I want to ask you, what's been on your heart lately? Maybe it's picking up a paintbrush or a knitting needle. Maybe it's taking a trip by yourself. Have you ever done that? I have. This was back a couple of weeks before Christmas. I told Jim, I said, after the first of the year, I'm going to take a pottery class. And he thought it was great. He said, I think you should. Well, long story short, that's what he gave me for Christmas, was lessons on how to make pottery. So I'm not going to do it right at the first of the year because we have travel coming up and the travel would interfere with the class schedule. So I'm going to wait for the next session and take that and make sure we're not traveling. But out of the clear blue, you know, the universe is sort of funny, don't you think? In that when we think about things, it's sort of like the algorithm. When we think about things and enough, they start coming to us. These opportunities start presenting themselves to us. And I've been thinking, I need to get out more and I need to meet women. Jim plays golf. He plays golf 3-4 days a week, and he has this group of men that he plays with, and it's not the same 4 all the time or the same other 3. They sort of switch around a lot on who's available to play when. But he has that little core group of men at the golf course that he can play with every single day that he wants to play. And I don't have that group of women. I bet many of you do, but I bet a lot of you don't either. Out of the clear blue, I mean, and that was something I had written down. That was something that I want to do this year for me. And out of the clear blue on Facebook about a week ago, this group popped up out of nowhere. And they're called Pensacola Bells, Belles. And I clicked over on their page, and it's just a group of mainly women here in Pensacola, and they do things like knitting, crocheting, painting. They go places. They meet for dinner. They take lessons together. You name it. They're throwing all of these activities out there and saying, this is where we're going to meet. This is what we're going to do. Come join us. And you just go, I'm going to do that. I joined the group. I was accepted into the group. You have to be accepted. I'm going to do that. So I think I'm already off to a good start. So write it down, make it real, make it happen. And to make it happen, just start at the very beginning. Research some things, some activities. Sign up for the class. Maybe watch a tutorial. Follow people. If you think you want to learn how to crochet, let's say, or learn how to knit or paint, start watching some of those channels here on YouTube. Find people who inspire you and who can cheer you on. Find communities of like-minded individuals, both online and offline, and celebrate your wins. In closing, life doesn't come with an expiration date for dreams. It's never too late to start. And you're never too old to become the person you want to be. You're never too old. I'm asking that you stop waiting. You stop doubting and you start living. I am going to ask that you leave a comment below and let us all know maybe something new that you're going to do this year, that you're going to try for the first time. I think we could all get ideas from that. We're thinking, oh, I stay at home, Patty. I don't have transportation. I'm disabled. There's just so many reasons why we think we can't do things. But I think we could probably find something. And I know you're going to give us some good ideas of some things we haven't even thought of. There's another old saying that the best time to start something was yesterday. The second best time to start something, today. Today. So as we start this new year, this new chapter, here's to embracing you in some new adventures, regardless of your age. Let's do this.